One of the topics we want to talk about is the issue of will. The doctor says you have a terminal disease and you have 4 weeks or 2 weeks or one few months to go. And they tell you, as they tell in other Western countries, go and put your homes in order. But in Nigeria, we find faith, hope, trust, and believe in God that there can still be a turnaround. And because the whole family wants to be strong for that person, nobody wants to say, hey, uncle, this thing, can you begin to tell us what you want? Especially for those who are very wealthy. A lady in particular was saying this experience where her father, her mother obviously distraught. Her mother couldn't handle that conversation because her mother was broken, seeing her father sick on the bed. The end was obviously round the corner. They were praying, pastors were coming every day, fasting and hoping that there'll be a turnaround. But she knew that, listen, this might be the end. And she tried so hard to start the conversation with her father. But she just couldn't bring herself to it. And when the man now finally died, chaos now started. So in your view, how do we overcome this hurdle?
Okay, so this thing reminds me of the story of King Hezekiah. And I just quickly went there. It says, in those days, Hezekiah became ill and was at the point of death. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amos, went to him and said, this is what the Lord says, put your house in order because you're going to die. You will not recover. So a lot of the times also, we find it among Christian believers who is like, you know, who have that belief of, I'm not going to die. You shall not die. They will call pastors, people will be on their deathbeds. The doctor will come and call the family together and say, these are the last days, you know, come around your loved ones. But then you go ahead, call the pastor, and the pastor will come. I declare you shall not die. You shall. So, you know, you're here on the bed and the pastor has just declared you shall not die. Why then would you be having this conversation with me if it is not that you have my death, you know? So many people are afraid to have that conversation. But secondly, we must tell ourselves the truth. All of us here, nobody came from heaven or just appeared. We were born. There's a process. We were born of a woman and we're here, every one of us. And every one of us will pass on one day, whether we like it or not. That's just life's process. And you, when you were being born, your parents did all they could. They made sure they cleared the house for you, they bought food for you, they bought clothes for you, they arranged and prepared for you. Now you're leaving some people behind. Do the needful. Prepare for them so that when you leave, it will be such a glorious living. Fantastic. When you can do it, do it. And sometimes you don't have to wait until you're on your sick bed. So it doesn't seem ominous, like, oh, okay, I'm sick and this may mean death. It could even be in your most happy, your birthdays. Okay, today is my birthday. I'm putting this aside. I'm putting this aside. You know, who knows, the next birthday I may get to put another thing aside for you. Let's think about that.
We take, especially in this part of the world, we take death so seriously, like, don't even joke with it. Don't even give an example with death and use your name. You say, my enemy. What are you running from? You will die. I will die. Everybody will die. We don't have to wait till death comes knocking before you put your house in order. It can happen. You can go to work and you don't get back home. You can have an accident. Anything can happen. So if you have a free mindset that as I'm making this money, as I'm putting my assets together, let me start, you know, securing my family, because anything can happen. So people who are smart, who are wise, who are not selfish, there's another selfish part I say in it, because even sometimes those people who are dying on the bed do not want to even share what they have. They know they are going. They are not believing anymore. They know. There are signs already that you are out the door. You know already you're going. But they still do not want to release what they have. So I think it's just a change of mindset. If we begin to see death differently, it will help us make this plan.
So, I want you to take it from the part of faith, because there are two sides. There are those who prepare, or with what she just said, that admonishing those who are young or whatever age, prepare. I want us to go specifically to somebody who knows, like, you are on that deathbed, or you know the doctor has told you you have this amount of weeks left, or months, or even a year left. And you have an opportunity to put your house in order, but you choose not to because you want to activate faith. Because you want to trust that God will heal you from this bed. I'm going to stand up. So you don't want to even phantom the idea that I'm going to go. You want to tell the doctor that you are the one that's not me. I will show you the God that I have. And God will show you. So because of that, you don't think of death. And that's the real conversation.
It's an emotional period to be told that you live, or to even not be told, because not all of us get the opportunity, not all those who have died anyway, not all of us will also get the opportunity to be on a deathbed and have the opportunity to put things in order. Yes. That can be sudden for some people. It was sudden from my own experience. And it's just the constant thinking that there's an end to life, you know, and to be in that place can be overwhelming for some people. Yeah. For me, I remember when my father would call me every time and say, Nima, if I die, bury me where I die. This and that. And those kind of conversations. At some point, I said, please, 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 if I come to this house and you're telling me this, I won't come again. So for me, it was an emotional difficulty. But when the reality happened, I then kept flashing back. And so it's not something that somebody would easily accept. So sometimes it's as an overwhelming period for both parties, whether you are going to outlive or to accept that.
But should we have the conversation even when it's emotionally overwhelming?
The conversation is for when you're healthy, when you're upright. It's important that when you're sane, when you're calm, when you're collected, is when you put these things in order, not in that final moment. That final moment, any emotion can be truncated, running through your head. You might be concerned about the vulnerable and, you know, less concerned about the person that might truly be there for you.